Some of you may know, but Disney blocked my original video, so I've had to completely remake this one using footage only from the video games. But I wanted to make sure that everybody could watch this. But if you'd like to see the higher quality original version, it is available on my Patreon. The time has come. I'm sure a lot of people were going to say, you did the Old Republic games in order, so why are you starting with Revenge of the Sith and going backwards? Because I want to. Don't worry, we'll get to everybody's favourite prequel movie, Attack of the Clones, eventually. Just have patience. No, in all seriousness, Revenge of the Sith is just my favourite prequel movie, and I just wanted to start with this one. Before we begin, if you do like the Old Republic, know that there are 3 videos just like this for KOTOR 1, 2 in the MMO that you should also definitely check out. But if you're just here for the prequels, well, grab yourself a nice cup of joe, sit back and put your feet up, because here is 10 minutes of useless information about Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith was the first Star Wars movie to receive a PG-13 rating for its mature themes, and because Anakin gets incinerated in a lava pit. Revenge of the Sith's original cut nearly ran for 4 hours. And I have to say, if there's any director's cut that needs to exist in this world right now, it's Revenge of the Sith. There are over 2,200 visual effects shots in Revenge of the Sith, which is more than the other 2 prequel movies combined. Revenge of the Sith made $868.4 million at the box office. Despite the high ground being the deciding factor on whether or not Obi-Wan would beat Anakin, the show Mythbusters actually put this to the test and determined that the high ground held no significant advantage. That can't be true. The most iconic Star Wars character of all time, Jar Binks, only spoke 2 lines in Revenge of the Sith. When Padme announces to Anakin that she is pregnant, she is wearing an extremely iconic hairstyle. Coincidence? I think not. During the Battle of Coruscant, if you look close enough during one scene throughout the debris, you can see the model of a kitchen sink. It was once claimed that there was so much CGI debris on the screen that you could find everything but the kitchen sink. So as a joke, they actually put in a kitchen sink. Hayden Christensen was requested by George Lucas to bulk up for this movie. He wanted Anakin to look like he had grown and gotten stronger, and so as a result, Hayden gained 24 pounds, eating almost 6 meals per day to achieve this. There is a supposed deleted scene that's never been seen before, that has Emperor Palpatine thanking and mocking Jar Binks for giving him emergency powers. Revenge of the Sith is the only Star Wars movie in the entire Skywalker saga not to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Visual Effects, which, to be honest, is an absolute travesty. The Millennium Falcon can be seen in the background during a shot of the Senate building just after the Battle of Coruscant. However, it wasn't actually known as the Millennium Falcon at this point, and it was called the Stellar Envoy. Anakin's fall to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith is Faustian in nature, and this has been backed up by George Lucas himself by design. Anakin is shown making a pact with the devil for short-term power and gain, and is further represented with Mustafar at the end of the movie mimicking hell. Revenge of the Sith is the only Star Wars movie in the entire saga to showcase 2 lightsabers of the same colour clashing against one another. You may notice that during the scene where Palpatine is declaring himself Emperor of the Galaxy, Padme is wearing a headdress that looks very similar to the logo of the Rebellion. The name for the planet Utapau was originally intended to be what became Tatooine in A New Hope. Then Utapau was originally supposed to be Naboo, but it was sidelined until it finally appeared in Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith takes place 19 years before A New Hope. Despite his general popularity with fans, General Grievous only has around 6.5 minutes of screen time in the entire movie franchise. Now, the most heartbreaking moment in the entire movie isn't Order 66 or the death of Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar. It's actually the moment that this poor Varactyl is shot off the wall and goes plummeting into the waters below, screaming for her life. The name of this Varactyl was Boga, and she was named after a popular drink in Tunisia that the crew drank on the set. The initial shots of Polis Massa are a homage to the film 2001: A Space Odyssey. Poor Jedi Master Shaak Ti dies in two different ways in deleted scenes for Revenge of the Sith. The first showcases her dying at the hands of General Grievous in the early stages of the movie on the Invisible Hand, and the other has Shaak Ti dying at the hands of Anakin while she's meditating during Order 66 in the Jedi Temple, which is her canon death. The character of Commander Cody is a homage to an action hero from the 50s called Commando Cody, whom of which George Lucas grew up with. In the original drafts for Revenge of the Sith, Padmé wasn't oblivious to what Anakin was becoming, and she was actually the progenitor for the rebellion during the movie. Then, in the movie's climax, Padmé was actually going to attempt to assassinate Anakin by stabbing him in the back with a knife as they embraced each other on Mustafar, and Anakin doesn't try to stop her and actually lets her attempt to kill him. However, in that moment, she simply couldn't kill the man she loved. However, all of this was scrapped. You might think that all of the planet Mustafar was CGI. However, many of the shots were an actual real-life erupting volcano called Mount Etna in Italy. The volcano was actually recorded by Lucasfilm and then integrated into the movie. Some early drafts of Revenge of the Sith actually featured a young Han Solo during the Battle of Kashyyyk. Han was intended to be an orphan that was raised by Chewbacca, and he would have a hand in helping Obi-Wan find General Grievous. Talking of General Grievous, did you know that his iconic cough is actually George Lucas himself? At one point during production, George Lucas suffered from a pretty bad chest infection that was causing him to cough badly, and they actually recorded this and placed it within General Grievous's character design to showcase that he wasn't fully a robot, but a cyborg. Liam Neeson actually returned for Revenge of the Sith as Qui-Gon Jinn, and was in a scene with Yoda which would have detailed the concept of Force ghosts, however it was cut from the final movie. George Lucas has a cameo in the film as the character Baron Papanoidea, and you can see him briefly during one of these shots. George Lucas's son Jet Lucas was the Jedi on the landing platform who fought off a number of clones to allow Bail Organa to escape. Although you might think the duel on Mustafar between Anakin and Obi-Wan was sped up to evoke a sense of Jedi speed, it actually isn't touched at all. The speed at which they are fighting on screen is the speed at which they were filmed, and Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen trained for almost 2 months before the movie even started production to achieve this. The director Steven Spielberg, a notable friend of George Lucas, had a small hand in the creation of Revenge of the Sith. It was claimed that Spielberg had a slight influence on both the duel on Mustafar between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and the duel between the Emperor and Yoda. It is also claimed that Spielberg oversaw the animatic of the chase scene between Grievous and Obi-Wan on Utapau. The first ever teaser trailer for Revenge of the Sith was released on November 5th, 2004. In Palpatine's office, if you look closely, you'll notice that there are 2 ornaments that resemble some kind of urns. These urns within the lore are known as spirit urns, Sith artifacts that were designed to contain the spirits of long-dead Sith Lords. In Legends, the same urn that appears in Revenge of the Sith actually held the ashes of Darth Plagueis within, Palpatine's master. As Anakin is being incinerated on the beach of lava, there was some dialogue and behind-the-scenes footage that never made it into the final cut. One of these scenes has Anakin's eyes turning from red to blue as he begs for Obi-Wan to save him, to which Obi-Wan simply responds, "I love you, but I can't help you." Many fans before the release of the movie correctly guessed the title as Revenge of the Sith. This is because Return of the Jedi was originally intended to be called Revenge of the Jedi, but this was changed near to the movie's release because revenge wasn't the Jedi way. However, it certainly fit the Sith, and for George Lucas it was a parallel with the conclusion of the original trilogy by title. The line, "If you're not with me, then you are my enemy," was inspired by a segment of the New Testament, Matthew 12:30. Out of all of the prequels, Revenge of the Sith is the most critically lauded. Hayden Christensen won the Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Supporting Actor for his role as Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. Although this makes no sense because I don't remember Hayden Christensen being in a supporting role when he's literally the main character for the entire trilogy and the franchise. In the video game adaptation of Revenge of the Sith, there is a secret alternate ending where Anakin would kill Obi-Wan and then subsequently kill the Emperor and take over the Galactic Empire as the Emperor. In the early drafts of the movie, there was to be an entire segment in which the mysteries of Anakin's birth would be revealed. Palpatine was going to tell Anakin that he indeed was Darth Sidious and that he created him using the Force, and by that logic, he was his biological father. However, this was deemed too similar to the reveal in Empire Strikes Back and was eventually cut. Early concept art of the movie has drawings where Boba Fett was seen killing Mace Windu during Order 66. However, this wasn't added simply because George Lucas didn't feel that Boba Fett could physically kill a Jedi Master of Mace Windu's caliber. After using a blaster to kill General Grievous, Obi-Wan throws it away and says, "So uncivilized." This is a homage to Alec McGuinness's quote about how lightsabers were the weapons for a more civilized age. And this is where the fun stops. That was 10 minutes of completely useless information about Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it with your Star Wars buddies who might also enjoy it, and also don't forget to give it a like. Once again, let's try and get this video moving in the uncivilized YouTube algorithm. Now, of course, the objectively best prequel movie is going to be covered next, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know exactly when 10 minutes of useless information about Attack of the Clones is released. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Also, while you're here, come and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join the Discord server because I would love to have you there. All links are in the description below. And if you love my channel and want to support it a little bit further, perhaps consider checking out Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, may the Force be with you. Always.